It says the mine's on.
Ah, there he is. I think I got him out. Hi there.
Yo.
Okay.
Good, how are you?
Good. Mr. Kaplan, we have Emily, our student board member.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Me too. Okay.
Emily, Mr. Kaplan.
Andrew.
All right. All right. Call to order this regular session meeting of the Park City School Board on October 19th at 5 p.m. Should we do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda that consists of regular session minutes of September 21st, closed session minutes of September 21st, accounts payable registers of September 9th, 13th, 14th, 17th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, 29th, October 5th, 7th, October 8th of 2021, contract for Innovated, approval for the Parks PCSD MTSS practice profile, agreement for use of school facilities, personnel information, and September expenses and revenues.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Do we have any discussion?
No, no discussion.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, that's unanimous. All right, we will move on to our employee. Let's see, Ms. Morgan, would you like to join us at the table?
I'm just going to pull my mask down so that you all that are remote can hear me. Good evening. I am Mary Morgan. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the co-president of PCA with Jake Joe. Very briefly, we would like to report that we feel that things are going very well and that we've had some very positive discussions as well as progress with Dr. Gilday and Dr. Sorensen. At this time, we are waiting back to hear on the GEARS grant application that will be used to fund COVID leave for teachers and staff so that they do not have to take their own sick leave due to COVID. There are also some remote working options for teachers who are quarantined due to positive exposure, and those options can be worked out with their building admin as needed, which is awesome. We have also been working on coming up with possible solutions to our sub shortage, as we know that we have a huge sub shortage right now, which is not just Park City. But we're working on these solutions so that teachers and staff are not having to cover classes during their prep times. COVID cases seem to be staying at a low level overall, and we are keeping a close eye on those numbers as we continue to encourage wearing a mask. PCA is pleased with the new teacher evaluation policy and would like to thank Renee Pinkney and Mark Parker, along with Dr. Hunt and Dr. Sorensen, for working on building a policy that helps teachers improve and one that aligns with our district goals. We look forward to working with district leadership and site leadership to ensure teachers are confident and comfortable with the new system. We would also like to thank the board and the district for working towards a positive relationship, and we fully support the bond tonight. Thank you for all that you do for our students, teachers, and staff. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go with Dr. Hunt. Do you want to come up first?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to give this to Lori. I'm going to refer to it, although it isn't anything that I felt was important to project. So
You want me to take this off so you can hear me too? I
Sure.
worry about people that are online. They
Yeah,
might
that
not
would be
able to
great.
hear. All right, so during the month of October, our focus in Park City has been on creating classroom environments where students are engaged in rigorous and meaningful learning. The board and our community vision and mission emphasizes whole child, which basically prioritizes the full scope of a child's developmental needs as a way to advance educational equity and ensure that every child reaches their fullest potential. To support our students, Park City School District has prioritized hiring top-notch professionals whose knowledge and expertise are invaluable when it comes to providing direct services for referrals for students' needs. So for my report today, I would like to first recognize our nurses, our counselors, our social workers, behavior specialists, and our outreach liaisons. Their work helps to ensure our students are physically, socially, and emotionally prepared to learn. In 2020, the state of Utah introduced the Utah College and Career Readiness School Counseling Program model. That model outlines the work of school counselors and it ensures that they implement a standards-based, data-driven school counseling program. In the accompanying rule put forward, expectations regarding counselor functions and the time that they spend providing them is included. Every 3 years, the counseling team is responsible for completing an interim report as directed by Park City School District leadership, and then every 6 years, the Utah State Board of Education staff conduct a formal on-site review. So annually, as part of those reviews, the counselors are to conduct a self-evaluation on their services, and they are to implement a data project. So what you are looking at is a report of the things that our counselors have done in their data projects and their self-assessment over the last year. Part of the model is that we share this with the board and that you have an opportunity to see the work that our support staff are really providing for our students on a daily basis. So if you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to address them. Today, I also wanted to share some information about a few exciting district-wide programs that we will be implementing to help further refine our practices and to build our capacity to continue to accelerate learning. First, I'll share information about our Reach the Summit Transformation Academy, and then I'll conclude sharing more information about principal labs. You know, research informs us that specific components of school systems impact student performance. Not surprisingly, the two things that impact most are the teacher in the classroom and then the leader in the school, teachers and principals. So in November, we'll begin recruiting participants for our Reach the Summit Transformation Academy. And the purpose of the academy is to build the capacity of our teachers who want to lead from any chair within the organization, who want to be involved in transformational work. It's also intended to give some of our professionals who have earned administrative certificates but are not acting in a formal position of leadership the opportunity to plan and support district level initiatives. So the first round will be chosen. There will be 4 teachers who have that certification. They will be selected to help us organize and plan the academy, which will host 14 licensed teachers, counselors, nurses, to be able to look at the implementation we need to put in place for Portrait of a Graduate, which is whole child objective. I'd also like to share about our Principal Lab program. Often our school level leaders are so busy focusing on the tasks of running a school and supporting our staff that they don't always have time to participate in their own professional development. And often the most important way that we can provide those opportunities is in a job embedded context so that they get feedback around the things that they're trying to implement. So Principal Lab is something that we're putting in place that will give them that job embedded context, and it will give them the opportunity to get some feedback on the things that they learn and the coaching that they give to teachers as they visit classrooms. So beginning next week, we will go in small groups of 3 to be able to start looking at how our principals are doing observations utilizing the new evaluation tool, because we want that tool to be valid and reliable. So this is an opportunity for our principals to be able to talk together and get feedback from one another around how that tool is being used to support implementation of the Park City instructional framework. All the teachers that would be observed will be volunteers. We're not going into classrooms to evaluate or to make people feel that we're there watching them. They'll be volunteers, and they know that we're coming to be able to create some validity around using a new evaluation tool. So as we begin the next and newest quarter, I can't believe we're in quarter 2, I'm excited that we're going to continue to build our base camp here in teaching and learning on our 5 strategic pillars, which are guaranteed and viable curriculum, human-centered systems, multi-tiered systems of support, professional growth, and future-ready schools. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. All right, Mr. Tanner.
Good evening. This is the operations report for the 19th of October, 2021. As was mentioned, the COVID situation seems to be manageable right now. The county, while it's in a high transmission index, it's got numbers fluctuating up and down a little bit. Statistically, we're in incidence growth, but it seems relatively stable and manageable at this time. We don't see any outbreaks outside of a kind of a normal range. It's kind of like oscillating almost within a window. The schools, we have a 14-day case count, a total of 12, with none at the high school right now, and 4 is our highest at Parley's. And Park City School District has the layered mitigation strategies in place that we've kept the whole time, and our defenses are definitely up. The Park City School District has a testing clinic. As we discussed it, we stood up with the nurse who was grant funded. That's 7:15 to 9:15 for students and staff every morning. We're at the high school and in Eccles. And Test Utah is also has availability from 10 to 9 o'clock or 10 to 7 p.m. in the Park City High School parking lot for non-district affiliated folks who'd like to get tested. Vaccinations, we've been approached by the Summit County Health Department as a potential site for administering vaccines for 5 through 11-year-olds. So we're trying to work out some times and dates for that. Also, you may have noticed that there's a NOMI van that's parked over at the Maverick Prospector Square there that's administering vaccinations. Buildings and grounds, Todd and his team have been doing a fantastic Todd and his team have been doing a fantastic job, They just ordered a new heat scrubber for the Ecker Hill Middle School. There were some concerns with excessive spray from children in the choir and band classes, and so we tried to help out there and got a new scrubber that we're going to install in the music rooms. The plows, salters, trucks, all the contracts are in place to meet our anticipated heavy snow, and I'm glad we got it done early. And new ski season parking agreements were sent to Deer Valley and Park City Mountain Resort. Transportation, Rich and his team are really doing a great job again. They're juggling a lot of things right now, and the hardest thing for them to deal with is the shortage of drivers. And so sometimes Rich and his team are driving, sometimes they're not, but they're piecing it together and actually doing a very nice job. Transportation has met with the Human Resources Department and working to a staffing roundtable to brainstorm ideas on how to recruit and retain better. They're also looking at shortening the training footprint, the time that a person is in training, to get people faster through the system, reduce the likelihood that they'll quit before they get to the job, and also give them some opportunities to work towards their CDL while on the district payroll remotely. So we're trying to enact those things. But the recruiting efforts continue. We still have COVID protocol in place on our buses with 2 per seat. And we're not currently offering space available transportation until we're sure that the situation is stabilized or is declining. We do strongly recommend masks on the buses. Again, we're still foggy in that. And I think I mentioned to you also that we're exploring a UV solution for cleaning the buses with a flippable switch versus having to fog them every day. We're in the process of developing a transportation procedures manual, and hopefully that will provide some clarity for the drivers and stabilize some of the personnel issues we have had in the office there. Child nutrition services, John and his team keep plugging along. They're doing a great job. The department is now fully staffed for the first time as of Monday, which is very exciting. But supply chain issues are causing some major disruptions to the menus, which you may have noticed. But they're working through that and using some creative solutions to still put a good product out for our students and staff. Human Resources, Dr. Shad and his team are doing a great job really trying to think outside the box to work towards solving some of these staffing issues that we're working through. He's had his third staffing roundtable where they've brainstormed ideas and enacted others. They've hired a full-time permanent stub to help primarily with COVID responsibilities, and the second position is still available and they're trying to fill that as well. He's continuing to monitor vacancies not filled with a substitute and working closely with EduStaff to continually improve the fill rates.
Can I ask a question about that? Sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
But you, Chad, you had said last time that you were going to look at EduStaff and at us internally to see if the rate issue, I mean, I think that it's just a nationwide issue, correct, right, with staffing. So I just wanted to know if maybe you had any updates on that as well, if you guys have looked at that or feel like EduStaff is doing the best they can with the conditions that we're in today.
The absent rates have been fairly comparable.
Okay.
A little bit higher than pre-COVID, but we don't know if that's COVID related or just happens to be an anomaly for this year.
Okay.
But we did have days this week even where it was, one person wasn't filled, so we had the district permanent sub be able to fill. So
Okay.
we have had better success. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No worries. And another thing that Shad and his team are doing to try to alleviate some of the staffing shortages is to combine a couple part-time positions and the full-time positions. For example, Jacqueline might have some shortages within the special ed department, but Todd Claridge might have some people available in their evening programs that are looking for more hours, and we're trying to look for those opportunities, combine those to address some of the staffing shortfalls that we have right now.
Awesome.
And also Shad and the HR department are registered to participate in the recruitment career fairs in states where we have had success, and also those with the highest migration rates to Utah. From a security perspective, we're going to host the first security committee meeting on the 11th of November, which will be basically an overview of all the things that we've done to date to refresh our law enforcement and fire department and staff folks with what we've done and the processes that are in place. We do have door open notification software that is now online at both the high school and Treasure. The problem is that it's working too well, and we're playing whack-a-mole with the notifications, trying to keep the doors closed. But we have a student education piece that's going to be put in place to try to engage the students to help us out some more. And Joe Stout is also looking at some new software that will allow us to lengthen the time before we're notified if the door's propped open for, say, more than a minute. We'll be notified then instead of every few seconds. You may have also noticed that we have security bollards installed in front of any driveway that somebody could potentially drive a car into one of our buildings, and those are complete with a few tweaks still in place happening at high school before we complete that project. That's all I have for tonight, unless you have anything.
I think that's everything. Does anybody have any questions? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Before we go to the superintendent report, I'm going to have Emily, our high school representative, give her update. And welcome to your first meeting.
Thank you. So, as long as you know who are our first meeting with Dr. Gilday, we're really striving to include student cooperation within high school. We use social media and different platforms like Instagram, TikTok to bring their input into the school, as we just had a survey go out for our COVID-depending movie night at the high school. We said that Ghostbusters was our movie via student polls, their options, their likes and all that. There's a lot of different activities that we do within the school for teachers and students. We have different kinds of hotlines set up for our students. We want to make sure that they feel safe and they feel like they're respected within our school. We have the Peace House Police Department. I think we have Safe Utah Police Department, the Trevor Project, and the National Suicide Prevention Line, all available to our students. They're posted all around our schools in case they don't feel comfortable going to someone for help. They can find that help through Safe Utah with our anonymous counseling line through that, or they can use the QR codes there as well. It's just a basic update with our October events, actually with our September and October events. We had our homecoming last month. It was fair, I think it went pretty well from what I'm aware of. We had around 900 students attend. We had a lot of people say that they liked our venue, our music, our friends, to be able to see their friends, the decorations. They just liked being able to go back to what felt almost normal to previous years. What we're doing this month for events, we had a Treasure Club Day today. We have Spirit Week coming up. All COVID pending, we're supposed to have a zombie night and our movie night, which is something we've all done in the past. We just want to make sure that we're pushing to have some of the same events available for all students, but that's really all COVID depending right now. I think that is just about it for an update with that.
Awesome. Thank you. I heard your homecoming was a success. So.
It was definitely something.
All right, Dr. Gilday.
All right. So as the leaves fall and snow dusting covers our mountains, we have diligently worked together to ensure student success in the first quarter of 21-22. Great principals and assistant principals lead great schools, and I'm pleased to recognize our school leadership this week during National School Leadership Month. Thank you to all for working hard to support one another, our students, our staff, and our schools. From incorporating the instructional framework to outlining more of the MTSS process, attending to climate and culture, and ensuring students feel safe and a sense of belonging, our classrooms are truly central to our well-being as a community. As we look ahead to the next 5 years, I'm going to repeat these from last month, we're going to focus on several key priority areas, including increasing academic achievement, providing a safe school environment that supports the whole child, attracting and retaining outstanding educators and staff, strengthening school, family, and community engagement, and ensuring fiscal and operational responsibility. While we acknowledge and recognize incredible efforts and successes, we focus on a system of continuous improvement. Therefore, when we look ahead to our next budget development or grant writing cycle, we'll look to those 5 key priority areas as the categories that will further our aspirational vision and mission for our school district students, staff, and community. Together, each of our classroom's teachers, our educational support staff, our talented principals and assistant principals, dedicated counselors, social workers, transportation team, child nutrition team, and district leadership create the conditions for student success each day. Next month, I'll address the 5 H's that I see present in our schools, as well as outline our next areas of study in the Master Facilities Implementation Plan. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We'll move on to public comment. Do we have anybody here for public comment this evening? I know we have the hearing at 6. So this, which would be for the budget, or for the bond, I apologize. And if not, if we have nobody here for public comment, then I will, should I wait? Do I need to wait till 5:30? Huh?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
Either recess for a few minutes if you think someone will come, or during the regular session, wait for the hearing to start at 6.
I think let's adjourn. We will adjourn this regular session meeting and, or can I make it? I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, I think it's just feedback. Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn to the regular session meeting on Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 at 4 p.m.?
I make a motion to adjourn until the next scheduled board meeting as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right. We will adjourn and then come back at 6. I'll call you ladies back.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Excellent. Karen, I'll just send you our next day.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Bidwell.
Thank you.
Sorry I can't stick around until 6.
No, thank you, it's good to see you.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you, Bill.
For everything, don't I'll post it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Good to have you. We'll see you next month. Are we still alive?
Live or live?
Bye.
Yeah.